Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Passport on Pivot. My name is Sinke, and I'll be your host. I started this channel to, hold myself accountable for these next couple of trips that I have coming up and trips in the distant future. I am always traveling. I'm always on the go, but I am not really that much into social media. I find it kind of corny, to be honest. I don't really mess with Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. I do have the platforms. I'm just not really that much into them. But I have been a dedicated, diehard Snapchatter for the last 10 years. And people have always told me that I need to get into content creation. I didn't necessarily disagree with them. I've always been a very outgoing person. I have a lot of public speaking skills. It's just like I said, I thought it was kind of corny, but Snapchat people would always tell me, dude, you need a YouTube channel. People would think you are so funny. People would love to hear the things you're talking about. People would love to see the experiences and places that you're going. So, here it is. I'm just not a big picture or video taker. You know what I mean? Like, when something happens, that's not my first thought, is to take out my phone and start taking a picture or something like that. Just because I try to be in the moment, and sometimes I get annoyed when I see other people doing it instead of just enjoying the moment, or they ruin moments trying to take out their phone or trying to get people to recreate things. It's never really been my style. So if you're gonna be watching this channel, of course it's gonna grow and the quality is gonna get better and better. But don't expect anything like super crazy or super corny. Simple as that. You know what I mean? I'm just here to keep it a stack and share my experience with you guys. I am a world traveler. Our country's big enough to host a channel just about traveling in the United States alone. I have been to a lot of states. I've traveled a bunch within the state that I live in now. When I turned 18 years old, I moved to California from the Chicagoland area. I grew up in a suburb called Plainfield. I moved out to California, the Bay Area, lived in San Francisco for about 6-7 years, and I've been in Oakland for the last year and a half. As you can tell, I'm actually driving right now, so you see my hand moving a bunch and stuff like that. It's because I drive a manual car, and I also just talk with my hands. So I'm driving up to Tahoe right now for my birthday weekend. Today is my birthday. I'm heading up there to do a little bit of gambling and to celebrate a wedding. Tahoe is actually on fire right now, but I am going to be in South Lake Tahoe. The fires are in North Lake Tahoe, and they have it 40% contained, so don't worry about me. I'll be just fine. Like I said, I've been told to do this for a long time because my travel experiences, people always say it looks like I'm just having a blast and having a good time. And, even if they've been to the places that I've been, they're like, I didn't know you could do that there, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just here to share that with you. Anything that'll make your travel experience that much better, that much easier, any way that I can help, I will do that. So, don't be afraid to reach out. So I'm heading up to Tahoe, and then my next trip planned after that, I'll be going to Florida. From there, I'll be leaving the country. I haven't disclosed that information to anyone yet about where I'm going. My closest family members know. My mom, my grandmother, and my dad know, but that's about it. Some really close friends, my girlfriend, of course, knows where I'm going, but most people don't know where I'm going, and I've only told a few people that I'm even leaving the country. So that'll be exciting to reveal that to folks when they start to realize it's happening. Maybe some people might even find out from these videos, which will be pretty funny and interesting. So yeah, what this first episode is really about is me just introducing myself to you guys and letting you know what this channel is going to be about and some of the things that you're going to be seeing. I'm going to be talking about getting your passport, the tips and tricks for that, because I definitely learned about that. Applying for visas, booking hotels, booking flights, which is, to be honest, the number one thing. How about that? First tip. Whenever you want to go somewhere, try to do it anywhere between 3 to 6 months in advance. That's how you're going to get your cheapest ticket. If you do have to do it last minute, there's some tips for that too. I got some tips for that too because I've had to do that as well. But try to do it, a couple months out in advance. And there's even times that are better to actually look for flights. What you're going to want to do is do it on Monday through Wednesday. I found that Tuesday is the best day to do it, but Tuesday mornings, anytime before 11, and really like your time window was like, 6 a.m. to about 9, right? But you can get away with it at 11. And you guys think I'm like, I'm being really specific with these times, but it's true. Like I've literally watched flights go up like this in those those time frames. Booking on the weekend, like Thursday through Sunday, trying to book a flight can be the difference between $100 and even $300-400 for some places. Another tip would be to obviously use incognito mode and clear your cache. That is like, some of these things, it's like you take them for granted. You don't think that we're all becoming more and more aware of how much we're being watched on the internet, but flights is how you can see it firsthand, that you know what I mean? People think it's crazy when they'll be talking about something and it pops up on their phone instantly. What'll really trip you out is when you'll be talking about a flight and then you'll look it up one day and then the next day you look it up and it's gone up by $200 or $300 and you're like, what? That's weird. Another tip, this is something that I use, this is something that I do actually, and I don't think I've heard anybody give this tip. Try to have someone else look up the flight for you and book it for you. Because I'm always doing it, I think that they've kind of picked up, Google and the powers that be have picked up on when and how often I'm looking at flights, so I can't really game the system anymore. So I literally have to call friends back in Chicago and ask them to look up flights and just compare the difference in flights. And most times I literally save anywhere between like $200 and $300 on that alone. For example, just flying home last month, I went back home to Chicago for about a month, and this is exactly why I'm starting this channel, because I should have been documenting that entire trip. I'll tell you a little more about that here in a second, but I found a flight home for about $450, right? Which is okay for flying back home to Chicago. I normally try to get it anywhere under $300, but I was seeing them for like $350 and stuff like that. And I was okay with that. I was ready to book a flight for like $320. I called a friend, shout out to Courtney Weiland, love you girl. Gave her a call and had her, look up the flight, and she was able to find me a flight for like $208. Literally saved me $150. Always try to be flexible with your airports if you can do that. That's super helpful. That kind of leads me into what I was just telling you about when I went back home to visit. I live in the Bay Area, like I mentioned. I lived in Oakland. It was another like $100 cheaper to fly from LAX than it was from SFO, Oakland, or San Jose. Those are all relatively close airports to each other. It was $120, $150 cheaper to fly out of LAX. So I turned it into a trip, right? The plan was to go down there, stay with my aunt for the weekend, and then fly out on Monday, right? But because it was for my cousin's little birthday too. His birthday was that same weekend. I got down there, I'm driving down there, I'm on the highway, and my aunt calls and says, I want to take a Conde, that's my cousin's name, to Las Vegas for his birthday. And I'm like, okay, I would love to. I mean, my cousin's turning 13, so, after about 10 o'clock, there's nothing for him to do in Vegas, but, we had a great time. We had a good old time. I've been to Excalibur several times in Las Vegas, but I've never been like to the arcade. You know what I mean? I've been to like all the casinos down there on the strip, but I've never had a reason to like enjoy that arcade. It was incredible. At nighttime, we tucked away the kids and then I went out. My aunt was done for the day too, so she stayed in with them and I got to go out by myself. We drove back up from Vegas. I spent the day there and then went to Magic Mountain. I bought a membership. Another thing we'll go over, memberships and season passes for different places, whether they're worth it or not. But I knew that I was going to be going to Six Flags Great America because my girlfriend she's from Orange County, she's been to Disneyland, but she had never been to Magic Mountain. So I was like, okay, we're going to take you to Magic Mountain, and then when we go to Chicago, you're going to be able to compare it to Six Flags Great America, which is what we have back there. So we did that, took my little cousins there too, and had a great time. And then flew out to Chicago and stayed there for about a month. And while I was there, there was a family reunion in Mississippi. My dad's family is from Mississippi. While I was there, I had a trip. I had trips within trips within trips, right? So my Chicago trip turned into a Vegas trip, turns into a Mississippi trip, just like that, like in the drop of a hat. Yeah, I drove down to Mississippi with my dad because that's always what we do. We always drive down, we don't fly down there. Some places are ridiculous to fly into. Mississippi is one of those places. So if you're flexible, if you have the time, when you're doing weekend trips, driving or having to drive or take a bus or something like that isn't always like the best idea. Even if it is economical, it's not worth it for your time. That's another thing we'll go over. When I got to Chicago, we drove down there, and that was a 16-hour drive, but it was nostalgic because I've been doing that since I was literally a child. Since I was maybe like 6 or 7 years old, we've been driving down to Mississippi, once or twice a year. So it was great to see my family down there because I hadn't seen them since I was a teenager. It was just incredible to see all my cousins, man. It was dope. It was an awesome shot, Lake Tahoe. See the train tracks right there. I don't know if you can see it right there. That's the train right there next to us. All right, so I touched down, been showered a little bit here. A little tour, real quick. Boom, balcony out there. We'll go out there real quick. Show you the hot tub. Go, barbecue grill and all that. Checking it out. What part of the lake are we at, baby? Like, where are we right now? Incline Village. There you go. Still. Bring it on through here. Bathroom. Coming down the hallway here. This is one of the garages here. Can't really see in there. Let me get you some light. Garage there. This one's so tiny. But you think that one's tiny? Just give it a second. This one right here is miniature. It's like, I don't even know how you would get in there. It's tight. It has multiple doors to get in here too. It's pretty cool. Bring it on. Bring it on there. Bring it on there. Bring it on there. All right, we got a light. Oh. Sweet. Come right here. Not everybody has made it yet. But some people have, and they went to the store, grabbed us some grub. First full bathroom, another room here. You know what I mean? Gotta love it. Boom. Another right here. Hit you with the light. I didn't hit you with the light for the other one, so I'll bless you right there. You know? Loving the artwork. Dope. This is cool. I literally just got the tour myself, and then I took a shower because I was sweaty in my car driving all the way down here right after work, but oh, this is it. Sweet, these are all the downstairs rooms. I'll show you where we're staying at. What our room is like. Now, you made it to the master suite. So this is like a little den right here. Come on into the bedroom. Right. This is all cool. Got your own private patio. One of the rooms downstairs actually has a patio too. I didn't go out there. Get a nice little chill out here. It's beautiful. It's dark right now. I'll show you guys some more tomorrow when it's bright out. Come back in here. And then this is a separate garage entrance. This goes right all the way down outside. You have your own private entrance. That's pretty cool. I figure they're probably it's a VRBO, not Airbnb. So I'm sure they have people rent it out in other ways too. When they're ready to have tenants. You know what I'm saying? Guess whose side's whose? I'm just kidding. Tub is awesome. I don't know if you could tell how deep this thing is, but I'll try not to show you all the goodies here. All right, here we go. No, dude. All right. Oh, man. All right. Now we got the shower. Both heads here. It's dope. I'm excited. We're gonna have a fun weekend. I'll show you guys once we start to turn up and when everybody arrives, and we'll go from there. But welcome to Tahoe. We're here at the rehearsal, getting it all situated.
I don't know. It's like their first run too, huh?
Yeah,
I guess so,
it's
right?
literally the first run.
Yep, that's what it is.
It's nice having no pressure. This is what I get to do.
I know, right? Just fucking drink and just chill. They're all being boxed around it.
It's the whole gang. It's my boo. I don't know if you can tell by my voice, but I'm faded.